Good evening, everybody. We're going to call this meeting on the last day of July at 7:06 p.m. Madam Clerk, I'll call it to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioners Gershenson? Gingell? Hoffman? Jackson? Kokendorfer? Kowal? Kuhn?
Here.
Long is excused. Lubes? Here. Markham? Here. McGilvray?
Here.
Middleton? Here. Miller?
Here.
Nelson? Here. Powell's excused. Corl's excused. Spiz?
Here.
Taub? Here. Wiper?
Here.
Woodward?
Here.
Zach? Here. Mr. Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This evening, the invocation is going to be, please rise for the invocation to be given by Commissioner Gwen Markham, followed by the pledge.
Whatever we do to the web, we do to ourselves. All things are bound together, all things connect. Nothing in nature lives for itself. Rivers don't drink their own water, trees don't eat their own fruit, the sun doesn't shine for itself, a flower's fragrance is not for itself. Living for each other is the rule of nature. O Creator, we are grateful for the sun that brings us new energy by day and the moon that softly restores us by night. We are thankful for the rain that washes away our sadness and the breeze that blows new strength into our being. May we walk gently through this world and know its beauty all the days of our lives. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner. Next up, we've got approval of the minutes from the July 18th meeting. Is there a motion by Commissioner Gingell, supported by Commissioner McGilvray? Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. The minutes are adopted. Next up, we have the approval of the agenda.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner McGilvray.
I'd like, first of all, we have no amendments to the agenda, but request suspension of the rules for the item that was taken up previous to the meeting in finance today. So we need to waive Rule 3.
Moved by Commissioner McGilvray, seconded by Commissioner Gingell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries and the agenda is approved. That moves us on to communications. We have a couple items on the communication and the proclamations. The Health Division measles by Commissioner Zach, that's going to be postponed to a later meeting. And the last proclamation to honor Mayor Brian Barnett, we're going to schedule at another time. But I'd like to invite Commissioner Gwen Markham back to the podium for our first proclamation and presentation of the evening. Commissioner Taub.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I don't know where the agenda item is going to be placed. Is it on the consent agenda or the regular agenda?
It is on the consent agenda,
Okay.
as printed on the agenda.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. The floor is yours, Commissioner Markham.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Could I have the Novi women's soccer team and their coaches come forward, please? All the way up here. Yep. Come on down. Stand with me. So I am really proud to be able to make this proclamation today. Many of you know today is my birthday. We've been celebrating. Thank you. And that's relevant because the summer I turned 18, I had just graduated from Pontiac Central High School, which was right down the road. And at that time, my high school offered 2 varsity sports for girls, track and field and cheerleading. That was 1971. You can do the math. But 1 year later, in 1972, President Richard Nixon signed Title IX of the Civil Rights Act into law. And that law states, it's very short, no person in the United States shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any education program or activity receiving federal financial assistance. So that basically said public schools had to treat girls just like boys. Title IX resulted in an explosion in women's sports, and today over 3.5 million girls participate in high school sports across this country. And I have watched this change take place in my lifetime, and I think it shows the powerful impact of a fair and just law. And that brings me to today. I am humbled and truly honored to present this board, the 2019 Division I State Championship Women's Soccer Team from Novi High School. They are ranked the #1 team in the United States by Top Drawer Soccer.
Wow.
I could give you, 2 hours worth of anecdotes, but this team is truly extraordinary. Not only are they this year's state champs with a 28-0-1 record, they are back-to-back state champs. Senior Jessie Bandyke was named an All-American and is this year's Miss Soccer in Michigan. Junior Avery Fenchel was also named to the state's Dream Team, and she scored the winning goal in the final game against Plymouth. Sammy Madej, a freshman who was called up to the varsity team late in the season, held Plymouth to a 5-0 shutout in the final game. And it was amazing personal performances for sure, but the coaches and the players will all tell you that they are a team, first and foremost. They faced adversity, injury, terrible weather. Do you remember how bad the spring was this year? They were playing in it, and more. Their coach, Todd Pfeiffer, is Michigan's Coach of the Year for the 2nd straight season, and it's a richly deserved honor. On behalf of the entire Oakland County Board of Commissioners, I wish to congratulate the team, their coaches, their families, their fans, and the entire Novi community in recognition of this amazing accomplishment. We have a proclamation for you to take back to the school, and we have certificates for each one of the students commending you for such a great run this year. Thank you very much. And Coach, if you'd like to say a couple of words for us.
Well, first off, I want to thank Commissioner Markham for having us here. This is truly an honor for us to be here. These girls just love playing soccer. And I have been lucky to work with some of these girls for 4 years now, 3 years now, some for 2, and some for this within the first year. But what a lot of you don't get in the paper is these are not only tremendous soccer players, which shows by the record and everything accomplished, but they're just tremendous, amazing human beings. And these are girls who are going to accomplish great things. I mean, these girls we had 20 girls in the roster. We had a team GPA of 3.8.
Wow.
And with everything that goes on in their lives during a soccer season, to be able to maintain that focus all year long, I said 28-0-1 is phenomenal. And I was lucky enough to be along for the ride, and I was just so truly honored, blessed to be a part of this. But this is why I am so happy to be a part of women's sports and Title IX, and these are great representatives of why it was so great that came into fruition way back when it did, because it provides opportunities for these girls to be great leaders, and I'm just so honored and humbled to know them. So thank you for having us here today. We're truly honored.
Commissioner Markham's letting them know that the Board of Commissioners is going to scrimmage with them in the backyard out here. Pity on the board. Thank you all. Next up, I'd like to call Commissioner Nelson to recognize Miss Oakland County and Miss Oakland County's outstanding teen. I think the proclamations are to your...
Commissioner Miller and Commissioner Jackson are also going to be joining us here. Whereas the incredible potential of bright, dedicated, and driven young women and their important role in shaping the future of not just our county, but our country could not be understated. And whereas 2019 Miss Oakland County Grace Newland is a shining example of a young woman with tremendous potential. She's a senior at Henry Ford College, where she will be graduating with an associate's degree in nursing. She plans to pursue a bachelor's degree in the nursing in the future.
And whereas Grace's social impact initiative is Keep the Beat, Heart Disease Education, a cause she has dedicated herself to in honor of her grandfather and great uncle, who died from heart disease at the ages of 48 and 50, respectively. She is a strong advocate for preventing heart disease and works to educate others about heart disease risk factors. And
whereas the Miss Oakland County Scholarship Program is a preliminary competition to Miss Michigan and Miss America, providing scholarship opportunities to young women that work, live, or attend school in Oakland County. We proudly join with Grace's family and friends to recognize her many accomplishments and to honor her for possessing the talent, intelligence, and character to win the title and crown of 2019 Miss Oakland County.
Now therefore, David T. Woodward, Chairman of the County Board of Commissioners, together with myself and the entire Oakland County Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim special commendation to Grace Newland for being selected as 2019 Miss Oakland County. We wish her the best of luck as she represents Oakland County in the Miss Michigan competition in June 2020, and continued success in all of her future endeavors. Brecken Bussey. Whereas the incredible potential of bright, dedicated, and driven young women and their important role in shaping the future of not just our county, but our country cannot be understated. And whereas 2019 Miss Oakland County Outstanding Teen, Brecken Bussey, is a shining example of young women with tremendous potential. She is committed to helping others in need, and she has dedicated her time to promoting the importance of living a healthy lifestyle to children and young adults.
whereas Brecken's platform is Flipping for Fitness, where she promotes the importance of living a healthy lifestyle through physical activity and healthy eating. Brecken will continue her work with the Girls on the Run program and with the Girl Scouts to educate youth about her platform. She is also planning a sports equipment drive for children in need and plans to work on obtaining special needs adaptive playground equipment for local parks and schools. She hopes to create an inclusive experience for all children to exercise and play.
Whereas Miss Oakland County Scholarship Program is a preliminary competition to Miss Michigan, Miss America, providing scholarship opportunities to young women that work, live, or attend Oakland County schools. We proudly join with Brecken's family and friends to recognize her many accomplishments and honor her for possessing the talent, intelligence, and character to win the title and crown of 2019 Miss Oakland County Outstanding Teen.
Now therefore, David T. Woodward, Chairman of the Oakland County Board of Commissioners, together with myself and the entire Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim a special commendation to Brecken Bussey for being selected as 2019 Miss Oakland County's Outstanding Teen. We wish her the best of luck as she represents Oakland County at the Michigan's Outstanding Teen Competition in June 2020, and continued success in all of her future endeavors.
So as we present these proclamations to these beautiful, brilliant, and successful young women, would you like to say a few words about your platform or address the audience? We always like to give you a chance to just see you up close and personal and hear you.
My name is Grace Newland. I am 21 years old and I'm from Farmington Hills, Michigan. I am a student at Henry Ford College. I'm in their associate degree program for nursing and I'll be graduating in December. The Miss Oakland County organization I've been competing in for 5 years. This was my 5th time competing and I finally won. This program means a lot to me. The Miss America organization is the largest provider for scholarships for young women in the country. And I won $1,675 through Miss Oakland County. And altogether in the past 5 years I've been competing, I have won over $5,000 for my education. I'm an EMT. I worked for a private EMS company in Detroit for a whole year. I worked 911 and I did special events. And so my passion is to serve others. And I've always known that that's my calling and that's what I'm intended to do. So I want to continue with the emergency medicine and I want to be a flight nurse. That is my career ambition. So a flight nurse is someone who transports a patient from a scene to a hospital or a hospital to a hospital. They are there holding that hand of that person, telling them that they will be okay, that they're doing everything possible that they can do, and I want to be that person. I want to hold that patient's hand. And most importantly, I want to do that in Detroit because I think it's really important to give back to a community that's growing and it's becoming something incredible. I will be representing Oakland County at the Miss Michigan pageant or competition in June of 2020. Our current Miss Michigan, Mallory Rivard, she is from Bay City, Michigan, and she will be representing Michigan at the Miss America competition in December this year. I think that's it. Brecken.
Hello everyone, I'm Brecken Bussey. I'm 15 and I live in St. Joseph, Michigan. I'm a sophomore at St. Joseph High School and I am your Miss Oakland County's Outstanding Teen 2019. My platform is Flippin' for Fitness, where I promote a healthy lifestyle through physical activity and promoting just getting out there and eating healthy. Some of the things that I've been doing this year, what I plan to do this year is last year I had a sports equipment drive where I gave sports equipment to some safe house shelters, for those children who are brought into these homes who don't have enough money to buy anything and they are practically homeless. So I think it's really important to give them that equipment and I'm really excited to do that. I also would love to get some playground equipment for handicapped students. Most playgrounds don't have anything for that. And I'm a part of Interact Club, which does all sorts of stuff around our community. And we went to one of the schools near us and they had a handicapped student that had nothing to play with, so he would just walk around all recess. So I think that it's really important to help provide some money to get him that equipment, as well as different playgrounds around the state of Michigan, and I'm super excited to represent Oakland County. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Brecken reminded me of something that I forgot to talk about. My social impact initiative, which is a passion of mine, is heart disease, and that is educating others about heart disease and their risk factors for developing it. So throughout my year as Miss Oakland County, a couple things that I plan to do is use my social media page, which is called Keep the Beat Heart Disease Education, and depending on where I'm traveling throughout Oakland County, find resources, evidence-based practice research articles, and post them on this Facebook page so that it's accessed to anybody no matter what city I am in, so that they can find information available to them. Heart disease is the #1 killer in women. It's the #1 killer for everybody in the US, men and women. And unfortunately, I have genetics that I can't change. And so it's something that I feel like I need to advocate for my whole entire life. My mother's father died when he was 50. His brother died before he turned 50. And so this is something serious. Another thing that I also am already doing is I've already partnered with the American Heart Association of Southeast Michigan. They're located in Southfield. So I plan to continue doing events for them. They've already invited me to do some events for them in the fall and to help them with Heart Health Month, which is in February. The Miss America organization also has a national platform that I'll also be advocating throughout my year, which is called Children's Miracle Network Hospitals. And that organization raises money for children whose private insurance or Medicaid won't cover the costs of their health care. We have one location in Royal Oak, which is Beaumont Hospitals, and I hope to be able to visit there and be able to participate in some of their events for Children's Miracle Network Hospitals. All right.
Okay. Congratulations again. Another round of applause. Oakland County is very fortunate to have you represent us over the next coming year. The other proclamations are going to be postponed to a future meeting. So that brings us to the public comment portion of this meeting. If you're a member, other communications first. We'll do public comment in a second. Madam Clerk, do we have any communications?
We do, Mr. Chair. Just one this evening, dated July 31st, 2019, to the Oakland County Board of Commissioners. Ladies and gentlemen, please accept this letter as notification that I have exercised the authority granted under the provisions of the board rules. The chairperson of the board, for the purposes of meeting a submission deadline, shall be granted authority to approve grant applications in excess of $250,000. The grant application deadline for the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services fiscal year 2020 Crime Victim Rights Program grant application is August 1st, 2019. The Oakland County Prosecuting Attorney's Office has prepared a grant application on behalf of Oakland County in the amount of $761,449. Due to the changes in the board's grant submission process and the board calendar, it was not possible for the department to submit the application for full board consideration in accordance with our normal procedures. The application was reviewed by all appropriate county departments. I have authorized the submission of this grant application. Sincerely, David T. Woodward, Chairman, Oakland County Board of Commissioners.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Received and filed without objection. And now it brings us to public comment, in which the public has invited to give public comment on any item on or off the agenda. We ask members who wish to address the board to keep your comments limited to 3 minutes. We have a little clock up here to help keep you on track. Start with those who filled in on the sheet here, and then open it up to anybody else. And I want one person to sign up, Commissioner Tom Middleton.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm appalled. I was appalled during the July 18th board meeting where the administration presents the budget for the commission to review and act on. During the presentation, the entire majority caucus walked out on Bob Datto's portion of the budget presentation. I will use the rest of my 3 minutes to let those that walked out see the important information that they can use to vote on the budget. I had asked that a video of that meeting be presented, and it's up to the chair to allow that to be shown.
Commissioner, per our board rules, the request is supposed to be coming to me, and this is the first I'm hearing of it. So we're not going to have any presentations of videos during public comment.
Okay. Thank you. That concludes
But you
my
may
comment.
continue to use your time. Thank you, Commissioner. Is there anybody else from the public that would like to address us during public comment? Seeing none, I declare public comment closed, and that moves us to reports of standing committees. First up, we have the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda? Moved by Commissioner Jackson, seconded by Commissioner Spiz. Is there any discussion on the consent agenda? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
On the consent agenda, Commissioners Gingell, Hoffman, Jackson, Kokendorfer, Kowal, Kuhn, Lubes,
Yes.
Markham, McGilvray,
Yes.
Middleton, Miller,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Spiz,
Yes.
Taub,
No.
Weipert,
Yes.
Woodward,
Yes.
Zach,
Yes.
Gershenson. Mr. Chair, you have 17 yeas, 1 nay.
A sufficient number voting in the affirmative. The consent agenda is adopted, and that moves us on to the regular agenda. And since we did everything under the consent agenda, there are no items under economic growth and infrastructure, finance, healthy communities and environment, legislative affairs, governmental affair operations, public safety, and social justice. That moves us on to reports of special committees, where there are none. Special order business, there is none. Unfinished business, there is none. Moves us to new and miscellaneous business. Commissioner Kowal.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Today I have a memorandum that I would like to read. It is addressed to Chair Dave Woodward and Vice Chair Marcia Gershenson, CC to the Democratic Caucus members Nelson, Markham, Powell, Miller, Lubes, Quarles, Zach, McGillivray, and Jackson. It is from the Republican Caucus members Gingell, Hoffman, Spiz, Middleton, Kowal, Long, Weipert, Kuhn, Taub, and Kokendorfer. Addressed today, July 31st, 2019, the subject being the July 18th board meeting. At the last Board of Commissioners meeting, the Republican caucus was dismayed to witness an embarrassing lack of respect and decorum shown by board leadership and the entire Democratic caucus. This occurred during our annual budget presentation by our County Executive L. Brooks Patterson's deputy executives along with the directors of management and budget and human resources. In the past, this presentation has been the sole focus of the meeting, with other presentations mostly limited to proclamations. While we'd all appreciate hearing from our Secretary of State, Jocelyn Benson, scheduling a presentation on the same date as the budget message, especially before the administration's presentation, could be construed as overly ambitious, not to mention disrespectful to our administration. Again, the primary focus at the budget presentation should be just that, the budget. We are, I have to say, however, happy that Secretary Benson was able to reschedule, and we do look forward to her presentation at our September 5th board meeting. However, what ensued during Deputy Executive Bob Datto's part of the presentation was an embarrassment, reflecting poorly on the entire Board of Commissioners and the institution. When it was apparent that Ms. Benson, who had arrived late, had to leave for another appointment, both Chair Woodward and Vice Chair Gershenson abruptly abandoned the dais. There was no motion for recess. They just walked off. We were then shocked to observe the entire Democratic caucus follow suit, leaving the auditorium, presumably for a photo op with the Secretary of State. We are left without a quorum, leading Mr. Dadow to comment on such. Not sure if the meeting was over or not, Mr. Dadow continued with his presentation until the Democratic caucus members all came straggling back into the auditorium. Our number one responsibility as county commissioners is the budget. That's it. There's no excuse for walking out during the middle of a presentation on the budget. It was extremely disrespectful to our hardworking, dedicated executive team who year after year have guided us to our AAA bond rating and awards too numerous to mention. We as fellow commissioners were embarrassed and dismayed by what transpired. We can't begin to imagine how this looked to Oakland County citizens and taxpayers. We sincerely hope we will not see such a display of carelessness and disorganization again. We sincerely hope that future board meetings will be conducted according to proper procedures in a manner respectful of fellow board members and the citizens of Oakland County. And I request that this be entered into the board minutes. Thank you.
Commissioner Weipert.
Good evening, Mr. Chair. I have a miscellaneous resolution in Board of Commissioners Tri-Party Road Improvement Program Fiscal Year 2019 appropriation, Charter Township of Lyon, a gravel road paving of Dixboro Road from 8 Mile to 9 Mile, project number 53982. I'd ask that be referred to economic growth.
Growth and infrastructure, referred without objection. Commissioner Markham.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I want to introduce miscellaneous resolution in regard to the Board of Commissioners' support of House Bill 4324 to increase the state earned income tax credit to 12% and referring it to the Lago Committee.
Referred without objection. Commissioner Taub.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I am presenting notification of intent to discharge miscellaneous resolution number 19248. Request Michigan's Attorney General to cease efforts to shut down Enbridge Line 5 per board rule number 8F1A.
So Commissioner Taubes gives notice to discharge miscellaneous resolution 19248. Any further resolutions or new business be brought before the board? Seeing none, we'll move on to announcements. Are there any announcements? Commissioner Jackson.
I just want to, I'm sorry, I spilled water here. I'm a little bit, I just want to announce that on Saturday, August the 10th in Southfield, the 5th annual SOAP awareness, human trafficking awareness and outreach event is going to take place from 9 until 2, 1 week prior to the Dream Cruise. As we know, large events increase the incidence and activity of human trafficking. So if anybody wants to participate, they could contact me at 248-910-6035 or come to the Southfield Library at on August the 10th. We'll have a day of awareness education about the plague, and then we'll go out in teams to almost every hotel, motel in Oakland County and give information about human trafficking to hotel staff, as well as pass out information for local missing young people to see if any sightings have taken place. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other announcements? Commissioner Gagel.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I guess I just want to recognize Commissioner Markham. I know we talked about it being her birthday, but on behalf of the Republican caucus and the chair, or the full board through the chair, just officially happy birthday. I hope you had a great day today.
Happy birthday today. We also have another commissioner, Commissioner Taub, whose birthday was yesterday. No. Anniversary. A celebratory annual event. Congratulations on the anniversary. How many years?
But we eloped to Kentucky when I was 10.
58 years of marriage. It's how it's done. What's the secret? What's the secret?
Always smile.
Always smile. How are we going to work together as a board? Always smile. All right. Any other announcements? Seeing none, I'll adjourn this meeting to August 15th at 9:30 a.m. or call the chair.